I want to thank you all for being here. This is a very special evening for me and for the society and for the Goldfinger family and many of you. I want to thank the readers for the service tonight, Jonathan and Karen Cohen, Mary Raskin, and Paul Golan. And we will have other participants that you will be excited to hear from. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're thrilled to be together tonight, and we're thrilled to be able to honor Rabbi Eva Goldfinger. She is the 2022 Sherwin T. Wine Award winner for the Lifetime Achievement. Lifetime Achievement does not mean you stop. Just warning you now. I want to welcome, of course, everyone from wherever you reside, the Orenu family and Eva's personal family. Shabbat is a time for transition. We leave behind the worries and the concerns of everyday life, and we focus ourselves on this special Shabbat experience. We, at this moment in time, create an opportunity for community and appreciation. Let us pause and take note as we begin our celebration.
The Sabbath candles stand before us, as did the lamps of our ancestors. As the daylight disappears, we light these candles to bring light to this gathering. We participate in this ancient ritual and make our unique contribution to the traditions of the Jewish people, L'dor Vador, from generation to generation. Baruch haor ba'olam, Baruch haor ba'adam, Baruch haor ba'olam, ba'adam, Baruch haor, Baruch haor, ba'shabbat.
Radiant is the light in the world. Radiant is the light within people. Radiant is the light of Shabbat.
We raise this cup of wine, mindful of all it took for us to receive it. We appreciate the sun and the rain, gifts of nature. We value the efforts of our fellow human beings, aware of the human sacrifice involved to produce it. We know that the wine exists because of the luck of the right amount of each element of nature combined with human effort. We are thankful for the endeavors of all human beings working responsibly with the natural environment to bring forth this wine. Baruchim ha'adama ha'shemesh v'hageshem, Asher Yotzer Pri Hagafen. We rejoice in the earth, the sun, and the rain, which produces the fruit of the wine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Golan. I'm Executive Director of the Society for Humanistic Judaism. I have a piece that I was assigned to read, but I have to go off script first. For a little bit to talk about Eva and tell my story about her, which is that before I came on at SHJ, I worked in the Jewish community for many years for an organization called Jewish Outreach Institute, which was focused on helping the Jewish community better welcome interfaith families. And one of the many things we did was we would field calls from people who were about to get intermarried, right? Someone who's Jewish getting married to somebody who's not. And they were looking for a rabbi to officiate at their wedding. And as is the case today, most rabbis won't officiate at intermarriages at all in North America and around the world. Some will, we had a directory that a different organization put together every year with a code, and there were literally like 30 different criteria that rabbis would have about when they would marry someone, who they would marry, whether they would co-officiate. Massive, like, and you had to decipher the code and try to match them up. And there was a time when anybody from Canada who got in touch with us to get married, whether in Vancouver or Nova Scotia, my understanding is those are opposite coasts. Didn't matter where they were. If they were in Canada, there was one and only one rabbi who I could send them to, and that was Rabbi Eva Goldfinger. And I remember writing, my boss had me write a little explanation to say, but it's humanistic Judaism and you should check that out first and see if you're okay with it. Before I fully understood what humanistic Judaism was, or that I am a humanistic Jew. So it was like one of the first glistenings in my mind, and it just made me really appreciate Eva long before I met her. And there was a moment in time when I would argue she was the only reasonable rabbi in Canada. So if you ever write your autobiography, I would encourage you to use that title, the only reasonable rabbi in Canada, which of course now we know is no longer the case. We have several reasonable rabbis in Canada on this very webinar, but there was a moment in time when you were the only reasonable one, and I really appreciate it. And I can only imagine how many couples we sent to you who very much appreciated your approach. So about the award that you're receiving tonight, the Sherwin T. Wine Lifetime Achievement Award is presented annually to individuals who have over the years exemplified extraordinary dedication, devotion, adherence to, and activity in the secular humanistic Judaism movement and the philosophical doctrines enunciated by the movement's founder, Rabbi Sherwin T. Wine. The award, established by SHJ and past president Bert Steinberg of blessed memory in 2003 in honor of Wine's 75th birthday, represents Steinberg's heartfelt gratitude at finding a humanistic Jewish community that reflected his lifelong philosophy and unfulfilled need to become a bar mitzvah. Steinberg fulfilled his dream at the age of 72 under Wine's tutelage.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your stories. We're going to make lots of time at the end for others to do the same. I want to also welcome, there's a number of former recipients of the Sherwin T. Wine Award, and I'm probably not going to get you all because I can't see you all, but I see that Deb Godden is here and Andrea Friedlander is here, and I saw Larry Lawrence come on. Mary Raskin has yet to receive it. Let me keep going.
Spoiler alert.
Well, you know, past presidents, they got an in. I think that's about it. So thanks, everybody. We're now up to 4 pages here. So it's one of my greatest honors to steward this SHJ program. I have to tell you that when Sherwin Wine died, I said, the Sherwin T. Wine Award is my program. I didn't ask, I just said, it's my program. And it's such a gift to me. I just love working with the people who received the award, working with the people who have received the award. But I want you to know that choosing a recipient is no easy task, because we're privileged to have many worthy recipients in our movement. And each year I hear suggestions from members recommending other people who also haven't received it. So hopefully we'll be around for a very long time and all you worthy people will receive this wonderful award. We like to honor those who have made contributions first and foremost to the SHJ. Yet these worthy candidates are typically active in their local community as well. And then there's Eva Goldfinger. When I phoned Eva to tell her that she was to receive this award, she asked, why? And her question was a cross between like, why me and why now? So it's my job this evening to answer those questions. I first met Eva at a CSJO conference in Cleveland, Ohio in 1985. We met in a discussion group and our attraction to each other was immediate. Our passions coincided, our interests overlapped. We became close friends, a deep, abiding friendship that is really more like family. Eva's contributions are evident in every organization connected to secular humanistic Judaism. The gift of her leadership is chronicled in our history. Eva joined the Secular Jewish Association in Toronto in 1984. She brought with her vast experience and knowledge of Judaism and Jewish history, music and liturgy, literature, so much more. She served on the SHJ board for almost a decade. She was part of the first group of leaders to graduate from the International Institute for Secular Humanistic Judaism's leadership program. She also served on the boards of the Institute, the Leadership Conference of Secular and Humanistic Judaism, and the Association for Humanistic Rabbis. She organized and led retreats, as well as chairing the SHJ Conference Committee multiple times. In 2005, the Institute ordained Rabbi Eva Goldfinger. Additionally, Rabbi Goldfinger now serves, and did for quite some time now, as the Life Cycle Director and Adult Educator at Arenu Congregation in Toronto, Ontario. So as Rabbi Sherwin was very busy founding new programs and organizations, Eva was attending the first courses taught in the leadership program, traveling to conferences and colloquia in North America, Europe, and Israel, and then enrolling in the rabbinic program. Eva has made her mark as an educator. She's teaching education classes for many years at Arenu and SHJ and CSJO. Eva has created programs for bar and bat mitzvah for individuals in Canada and all over the world. Her course for those interested in becoming Jewish is intensive. She authored one of the seminal texts that we use in leadership training and adult education, The Basic Ideas of Secular Humanistic Judaism. She taught many of us on something very important, that before you begin a class, before you write an article, before you lead a discussion, what do you do first, Eva? First, you define your terms. Otherwise, how would we understand each other? Eva loves research, and I mean loves research, and loves learning with all her being, which is one of the reasons she is such a stellar teacher. Eva has made her mark as a provider of deeply meaningful holiday and life cycle ceremonies. She added to our body of humanistic Jewish liturgy and song lyrics. Her weddings, baby naming ceremonies, mitzvahs, and memorials are innovative, weaving Jewish tradition with humanist values in a way that provides dignity and authenticity and poetic resonance in everything she does. Eva has also made her mark as a philosophic counselor and therapist. Having studied and received certification as a therapist, Eva has touched and improved the lives of so many people. Her deep empathy, her non-judgmental acceptance, and creative thinking has led her to develop new approaches to help those who are suffering take charge and make positive changes in their lives. Eva has made her mark in strengthening the organizational structure and procedures of many of our organizations and programs. The admissions committee of the Institute still follows her very detailed and precise procedures and methodology. And you see her hand everywhere. Well, now that I have made Eva thoroughly uncomfortable by listing all of her accomplishments, I told her she had to just grin and bear it. I want to emphasize that I shared all of these things about Eva so that we can begin to imagine the enormity of her impact on so many of us as a rabbi, as a teacher, as a counselor, as a colleague, and dear friend. Eva, you are a woman who has made a difference in thousands of people's lives. And for that, we are grateful. So every time we give this award, we write a testimonial. So here we go. Because Rabbi Eva Goldfinger has selflessly shared her knowledge, wisdom, creativity, and sometimes inappropriate humor with the members of the secular humanistic Jewish movement for more than 4 decades. Because Eva is responsible for writing the quintessential book on the philosophy and ideas of secular humanistic Judaism. Because Rabbi Goldfinger has used her passion for knowledge and research to educate children and adults on almost every topic central to understanding Judaism from a secular humanistic perspective. Because Eva lent her mind-boggling organization skills and helped so many groups develop clear and rational procedures by which to operate. Because Eva Goldfinger has been in the forefront of developing thoughtful and deeply meaningful holiday and life cycle celebrations for the movement and for those outside the movement who are often left unserved. And because Rabbi Goldfinger has made a significant difference in the lives of so many, we, the leaders and members of the Society for Humanistic Judaism, are thrilled to name Rabbi Eva Goldfinger the 2022 recipient of the Sherwin T. Wine Lifetime Achievement Award. And we show our greatest gratitude for all that you've done, Eva. Thank you. So we give 2 things, 2 gifts. One is the beautiful award, which Eva is going to show you because a few weeks ago, I drove them to Toronto so that she would have them. And it says on there, the Society for Humanistic Judaism, and there's a picture of Sherwin, and it says Rabbi Sherwin T. Wine Lifetime Achievement Award, exemplifying extraordinary dedication to humanistic Judaism. And then it says presented to Rabbi Eva Goldfinger. And it says the date, which is December 2022. We also give a gift of Judaica. Now, finding a gift for Eva, who has almost every kind of Judaica possible, is not so easy. But when I talked to her daughters, they told me that she uses just another Elijah cup for her Miriam's cup at Passover. So Eva showed it's really a beautiful, beautiful Miriam's cup. Use it in good health, always remembering the gratitude that we have for your service. I'd like to invite Rabbi Karen Levy to give a response on behalf of Arenu congregation.
Can you hear me? Thank you, Miriam and Eva. Mazel tov upon this very special occasion. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone who has joined us today. And now I am going to switch my view so that I can bring up my speech, and I apologize that I'll be looking at my text on the screen and that I won't be looking right at you. Eva, especially I'll miss seeing your face, but I will see you in a minute. I first met Eva 40 years ago, and we quickly became steadfast, very close friends with a passion for building a secular humanistic Jewish congregation in Toronto and for participating in the worldwide movement, both of us inspired by Rabbi Sherwin Wine and by the many colleagues we have since come to know and admire in this community. Eva, those hours that we spent together on our shared adventure have been the most joyous and fulfilling of my working life. And now, as one of the past rabbis of Arenu, it is my great honor to express the deepest appreciation to you, on behalf of our congregation and of all those in Canada and beyond who have ever attended one of your many programs, and on behalf of the thousands of people who have marked a special life cycle milestone with you as their rabbi. Eva, true to your namesake, the biblical Eve of the creation story, and herself a creator of life, you too are a creator, and your creations as well are quite miraculous. In the book of Kohelet in the Hebrew Bible is written the well-known idea, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. The Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai reflected on this idea in a brilliant poem. If I may offer a translation, he began with these lines: "We do not have time in our life to have time for everything. We don't have seasons enough to have a season for every purpose." Kohelet was wrong about that. But you, Eva, have proved to be an extraordinary exception to the poet's claim. You have been the miraculous creator of time and seasons. You have made time for the many purposes that we asked of you and that you set for yourself. You made time always to truly listen to people, time to reflect upon their needs and how you might help to meet them. Whether as a pastoral counselor or as a life cycle officiant or as an educator, you made time to truly listen in a way that a person feels they have actually been heard and not judged. You made time to hold the hand of someone who is forlorn, lonely, or ill, to lend them comfort and understanding. You made time to sit at the bedside of a dying person whenever you were needed, offering solace and compassion. You made time to support your colleagues whenever we sought your advice or your collaboration. You made the time that is needed for friendship, giving your undivided attention and your wonderful, even if at times inappropriate, sense of humor. Answering every phone call and every email that we sent you. You made time to create beauty and meaning through your poetry and ceremonies, which we all use to mark the rhythms of the Jewish year and our individual life milestones. As an educator, you created new understanding and wisdom because you made the time to do the hard work that is required, the hours of research and reading, and the hours of analysis that led you to new ways of understanding life and Jewish texts and culture. You made time to organize your thoughts and to sit at the keyboard and write them down in a coherent and clear prose. You then made time to share your insights by teaching and creating the fora to exchange ideas. You made time to organize and to deliver in the greatest detail the most engaging interactive lessons, weekend conferences, as well as holiday and community celebrations. For all of us who sought the excitement of learning with you, who sought your support at a difficult time in our lives, who sought collegiality and friendship from you, for all who sought your guidance for living a Jewish life with integrity and meaning, you made time for us. With unparalleled generosity, you gave us your energy, your empathy, your talents, and your intellect. And for these gifts from you, Eva, we all feel the deepest gratitude. My dear friend, Yashir Koach, upon receiving the Sherwin T. Wine Lifetime Achievement Award, so richly deserved, may you always continue to go forward in strength.
It is now with great pleasure that I call to the podium on this auspicious award recipient moment. Rabbi Eva Goldfinger.
First of all, thank you so much for honoring me with this award, granted in the name of a man whom I adored, a man who changed Judaism, a man who changed me and my life. Confirmation that my work makes a difference in the lives of others is very meaningful for me. Other than my counseling work, I have devoted almost 4 decades of my life to the movement of secular humanistic Judaism, and being chosen for this award means that my years of effort have not been in vain, that I have made a difference. Because everybody spoke so eloquently, I'm going to have to repeat some of what they said because I don't feel like changing my words now. So I'd like to share with you what kindled my passion and led me here. I consider myself very fortunate to have been raised in a loving and supportive Hasidic home and community in Toronto. But in addition to following all the halachot or laws rigidly, I was taught that central to Judaism was the commandment to be of use, to help the sick, the poor, and the needy, and to take care of nature. I was a profoundly, some might say irritatingly curious child who wanted to learn and know everything. In fact, I don't think I've lost that curiosity, just lost the ability to remember everything that I'm reading. The only C I ever got in my report cards was in behavior, because my Jewish teacher thought I asked altogether too many questions. I read voraciously by a streetlight when I was reading non-Jewish books to keep that hidden from my parents. I got tired of hearing my father tell my brothers how much I loved to learn and that they should be more like me. I got tired of hearing the message that God gave me a good brain and I had the moral obligation to use it. Because when I said that I wanted to go to a yeshiva or college to continue my studies and be of more use, I was told that advanced study was only for boys. That's when I knew that despite my joyful and loving community, Hasidic Judaism was not for me, and neither were the other irrational and prejudiced forms of Judaism. Yet there were amazing elements in our culture, and being Jewish was important to me, and I did want to pass it on to my kids. But what kind of Jew did I want to be? And what kind of Judaism was I willing to pass on to them? Well, one day in 1984, I bumped into a real estate client of mine, Karen Levy. And while conversing about Jewishness and Jewish education for my kids, Karen told me about a new kind of Jewish community, the Secular Jewish Association, and invited me to an event at the home of Dr. Jerry Bain. I went, and that evening altered my whole life, and Karen and I became best friends. I was inspired that night by people who came from so many different backgrounds, yet were able to come together to celebrate their Jewish heritage in a way that had meaning and integrity for them, while being respectful of others despite their conflicting beliefs and behaviors. In a short while, I realized that I was not interested in believing in a God that was non-egalitarian and non-just. Before long, I didn't believe in any God and was thrilled to discover the ideals of humanism rooted in science, rationality, and ethics. I joined the SJA and became active on the board and various committees. Because I had a strong Jewish education and spoke Hebrew and Yiddish, they sought my help in creating meaningful celebratory materials that were rooted in all of Jewish culture, but were secular and humanistic. I did loads of research, and after drafting the materials, beginning with Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur services, and creating suitable secular songs, I made sure to get input from other SJA and later Orenu members. This collaboration resulted in wonderful materials, which we happily shared with other movement communities in North America. The following spring, after I joined the SJA, I participated in my first Congress of Secular Jewish Organizations National Conference and met so many of the movers and shakers, not only of the CSJO, but also of their sister organization, the SHJ. It was at this conference that I met and became lifelong friends with Miriam Jarris. It's interesting how Miriam, Karen, and I all ultimately became humanistic rabbis. Now, although the SJA was a member of the CSJO, I also chose to become an active member of the SHJ, where I met our founder, Sherwin Wine. And over time, we too became colleagues and friends. I also became active in the International Federation and then its educational arm, the International Institute. At the conferences, discussions began about the need to train leaders, and the Movement Leadership Training Program was established. I joyfully participated in the very first class in Philadelphia and completed all the required courses, learning from Rabbi Wine and other amazing teachers and professors from all over the world. It was here that I created solid and cooperative friendships with the graduate leaders and became active on our board, the Leadership Conference of Secular Humanistic Jews. Before I even graduated as a madricha, Sherwin came to Toronto in 1986, where we met with the Ontario Registrar and ensured that secular humanistic Judaism got on the list of legitimate Jewish movements. And I was accepted as their first clergy, licensed to perform weddings in Ontario. Later, Sherwin asked me to represent the movement as the Institute's Ontario director. At Orenu, we frequently held adult education leadership training programs for the Institute, and it was wonderful having Sherwin and Adam Shalom come to teach. During Sherwin's days, I also enjoyed teaching classes at the Institute courses. In 1996, I was happy to research and write the book Basic Ideas of Secular Humanistic Judaism, which I later dramatically shortened so it would become the educational kit for all movement leaders and teachers. To this day, many communities choose to send a copy of Basic Ideas to all their members to educate them about secular humanistic Judaism. As a madricha and later as a rabbi, I created endless ceremonies for life cycle events. These too, I happily shared with my colleagues. I was always happy to hear from my clients how meaningful these ceremonies were to them and to their guests. Now, particularly in Toronto, because it tends to be pretty conservative, I made it a mission in my life to be there for intercultural couples and families. I was the first Jewish clergy in Toronto who officiated at intercultural ceremonies, as well as at weddings of the LGBTQ plus community. I also created a course for those who wish to convert to or be adopted into secular humanistic Judaism and shared this with the movement. Once the Institute established a rabbinic program, it was thrilling for me to continue my advanced education or Jewish education and training, both within the movement and at Hebrew College in Boston, thus proving that advanced education clearly was for women too. I also helped to form and lead the Association of Humanistic Rabbis. I loved being involved in all the movement organizations. Now, for many years, I organized conferences in the US and Canada for the CSJO and the SHJ. I traveled to movement communities all over the US to train leaders, lead festival and Shabbat services, and offer adult education courses. I also loved to travel to Israel and Europe, as Miriam indicated, to participate in conferences there. In 2005 and 2006, I was the rabbi at one of our Los Angeles congregations. But although I continued to travel to various communities, Ultimately, Toronto was my home. All these years at the SJA and Orenu, I have been thrilled and fulfilled offering adult education classes, continuing to partner with other leaders in creating and updating our school curriculum, helping Orenu grow and thrive through participating in the planning and execution of programming, and running Intertalk, a support group for intermarried couples and families. Intertalk was later adopted by some of our movement communities. To this day, I continue to support the leaders and rabbis of Orenu. It has meant so much to me personally to have played an active part in developing and growing our movement and spreading our philosophy that our rational belief systems and our Jewish behaviors need to be consistent. I'm so proud to have contributed to putting the word out there that secular humanistic Judaism has its doors wide open to Jews, their partners and families, and to all those who wish to join us. Thank you to all the leaders and people in our movement with whom I partnered to help build secular humanistic Judaism. I am so grateful to this movement for enabling me to live most of my adult life with passion, integrity, and meaning, and to pass that on to my children and to others around North America. Thank you to all my friends, and most importantly, my ex Joe and my treasured daughters, Jody and Corey, who are here with me now, who partnered with me and supported me in building Orenu and our movement, and my precious grandchildren, Kira and Hallie, who are participating in our legacy by attending Orenu Sunday School. I love you all. While I can, may I and my work continue to have a positive impact and inspire others to join and grow this amazing form of contemporary Judaism. May our light continue to burn brightly and help to illuminate the darker corners of our world. Toda Rabba, Yasher Koach.
Eva, you have proven once again why you deserved this award. Thank you for your beautiful words. When Eva shared her comments with her daughter, Corey said she cried. And then I read them and I said, I didn't cry, but I did now because your passion came through in such a meaningful way. I wanted, before we sing our closing song, I wanted to share a picture. Oh, not so bad. That we took last week. And there's Eva and I love doing these programs on Zoom, but I miss having a photo proving that people actually got the award. So this was our way of showing that. It's really a nice picture. So thank you again, everybody. After we sing the song, and mute yourself if you want to sing, we will open up to everybody. I'll stay on for as long as people want to talk, and we'll give Eva a chance to speak with some of you. I won't say everyone, some of you more personally. So Paul, I think you've got the music.
All right, I'm just kidding. I couldn't stop. I couldn't help. All right. Let me stop sharing for a minute because I'm not sure I hit the right button anyway. Share sound, optimize video. Share. How's this?
A warm meal, some fresh fruit, a bedtime snack.
A healthy, happy childhood is not possible without.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone. For those of you who want to stay and speak with Eva, please unmute. And we could probably talk over each other. Just start talking when you want to say something. For those of you who are leaving, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Hi, Ava, it's Sheila. It was wonderful to see you, and congratulations. And your speech to us was absolutely wonderful. So you're an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
I hope we can get Eva's remarks in the magazine.
I'm either going to put them in the magazine or I'm going to blog them.
Okay, okay.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Eva, I wish I'd had more opportunities to interact with you. Envy everybody who's had these years of experience with you. One thing I will say that I resonate mightily with is your inappropriate sense of humor. So let's bond on that. Okay? Thank you so much, and congratulations. Well deserved.
Why is talking about life and any element of it inappropriate? I don't understand. We have to get rid of those tight rear-ended positions.
So-called inappropriate.
Exactly.
May I ask a question, Eva?
Of course, Marlene.
I'm very curious about at the time that you realized that Hasidic Judaism was not going to work for you. How did you transition how did you manage to keep the joy alive when it was hard for you to find something to transition into? It wasn't really established. I just wonder if you went through a phase of saying maybe Judaism isn't important until you found a way to make it work for you.
That's a very good question, actually. And the reason is that I left Orthodoxy, but I didn't leave Judaism, and I absolutely did not leave my family. My Hasidic family and I still have a powerful relationship. Occasionally, my grandnephews check out the internet when their parents aren't looking to look me up because they think that I'm some kind of interesting mystery out there. But I have a very close relationship with my family, and that for sure kept me close to Judaism all the time. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, good for them for not pushing you further away.
No, I didn't let them.
Ava, I was very interested to hear Miriam talk about your organization skills, which of course I know about.
Do you mean my neurotic organizational skills?
No, I appreciate them, but some people may think it's a little heavy-handed.
Well, you can't leave any details out if you want it to be practically perfect.
I agree, absolutely.
Eva, I want to thank you for 2 generations of my family, for myself, for mentoring me and getting me on the path that I'm on now. And of course, the fact that my kid is joining me too on this path is probably leading me on the path. So thank you, Eva, for all of your warm words, your encouragement, and I love your sense of humor.
You forgot to say that you're now part of the leadership training program.
And my daughter Paula is on the board of Arenu. So she's kind of following in my footsteps, although she doesn't accept that, doesn't agree to that.
Oh, of course she does, and she says it constantly.
What?
You're the one who inspired her.
Well, she doesn't.
Maybe she doesn't tell you that, but she tells other people.
But it's nice to hear that she is involved. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I talk to the girls as often as I can. Sheila's granddaughters, there's twin granddaughters. So I named them and I did their bat mitzvahs, and hopefully I'll do their wedding if I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, for those of you who are in the leadership, thinking about leadership, one of the most fabulous things in this leadership is when you meet somebody and then you do their wedding and then you name their children and you do the mitzvahs of their children. And then the first time I actually married the daughter of somebody whom I had married before, that was totally amazing. So the generational idea and to keep the connection going is fabulous. I know Reinu has been so important in that because I make sure that I do all of these ceremonies through Reinu as a congregation so that Reinu can keep in touch with all of my old clients, and I do too. But hearing from a community and knowing they're welcome there, over the years, many of my former clients have joined Reinu. Kids have gone and are still going to our schools. So keep that in mind if you're a leader in your community.
Eva,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for something so heartfelt that you gave me in a time when I was in a new city, in a new place. I knew people, some people at Reinu, but you came and you rescued me. You rescued me. You didn't know me from a hole in the wall. You rescued me and you rescued my sons and you helped me put my husband at peace and at rest in a very beautiful and meaningful way. And I'll always hold you dear to my heart.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
It was an honor for me to do that. And thank you for giving me the opportunity.
You love or hate that Goldfinger song?
I love that Goldfinger song. We sing it sometimes, girls. I'm not going to share with everybody the joke that I say that when people ask me, is that really your name? I say, if you don't believe me, I'll show you the finger.
That's not so funny.
You're laughing though.
No, but sometimes, you know.
We need to laugh. Life is very difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
And laughter really helps us get through the day. It does for me anyway.
Does anyone who haven't had a chance to say anything to Eva want to say anything?
I'd like to say, Eva, I wish Steve could be here
Me too.
for this. He loved you so much. And I'm so grateful to you for your relationship with him and consequently your relationship with me.
I did marry you guys.
Yes, you did.
Steve was the principal of our school for many years. Before that, a teacher. Beloved and sorely missed. Paul, thank you for joining me. Yeah. It's a pleasure for us to have you with us.
Hello, Eva.
Hello, Carol and Jerry.
Thank you so much for letting us watch and take part, and we enjoyed so much and felt massive nachas for everybody. And just wanted you to know that the marriage is still holding.
Strong.
Although there have been days.
When she's over the top.
Anyway, mazel tov to you and to everybody in Reinu. And you all look beautiful tonight.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, our pleasure.
I have to say goodbye now.
Bye, Barbara. Thank you.
Well,
a lot of people still here,
yeah,
but I guess they're shy.
yeah, that right, because humanistic Jews are so shy.
I
There's a
don't
lot
know.
of people who left messages for you in the chat that we'll share with you.
I would love to read them.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. This was such a beautiful celebration for such a beautiful person. And we're glad that you could be with us. And I want to say Shabbat Shalom. And to SHJ board members, I'll see you tomorrow. So good night, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.